Hello friends, welcome to my channel Brainy Coders. Today in the series of Java, we will be talking about Java 11. So Java 11 is the popular topic nowadays, and everyone is going around it. There are some few features which are beneficial for performance basis also, and for making Java more interpreted and functional uh, language. They are added, and there are some of the methods which are deprecated also, removed also. So we will talk them all about in the session, in the series we will be launching. So right now, let's just start with the video into the Java 11. This Java 11 is the version which we will be talking about, the latest feature that are available in Java 11. So you we have seen recently after Java 8, Java 9, 10, 11, 12, 16. So till 16 now, everything has been released so frequently. Earlier, what happened? Java releases one major version, Java 1, Java 5, Java 7, and after that, let's say after 2 or 3 years, they release a new version. But nowadays, they are releasing each version after every 6 months. So that is first major change. Like they have decided to release every major version in every 6 months, and then if they have to update or some minor version update, they will provide it as a support and then keep updating the same version continuously. So that is the one thing. So that's why we have so frequently, like after Java 8 we have Java 9, then later on in 6 months we have Java 10, then later on after 6 months we have Java 11, 6 months after Java 12, like this. So every 6 months we have a new version. Now again, the another thing is the support, the long term support which we are talking here. So this is actually, once a version is released by Java, they actually Java, I mean Oracle, so they provide support for it. Support in sense, like if there are some bugs, some issues which are reported for those feature, uh, users are reporting them, then Oracle will deal with those and then provide a new version, I mean a minor version update in that Java major version. So that is the support which Oracle provides. So now with this, Oracle has also released a new constraint. Makes a statement like they are not going to support each and every release, because after every 6 months you will get a major version. So you will not be getting support for each and every version. They will support the version in the 3 years duration. So what does that means? Java 8 was the version which has long term support, and after 3 years Java 11 is released. So Java 11 is the version which they support for the long time, and after that they will support Java 17 because it comes after 3 years. So that's how they have decided that now from Java 11, Java 17 to Java 17, the version which are in mid like 11, 12, 13, 12, 13, 15, 14 will not have support, long term support. So Oracle will not provide any update if there are some issues with them, some bugs with them. So Java 11 is the support provided version after Java 8. And there's one more thing, like uh, recently they have declared, in September 2019, the has the last update of the Java 8. After that they will not support Java 8. So because of that, Java 11 is released. Because Java 11 is released as a version and it has the final long term support, more and more people are opting on it. But later on it is increased, I mean extended. So they have extended this LTS, I mean long term support for Java 8 till 2030. Now there's again one more question with Java 11, that Oracle has started to pay, I mean to ask some money for the use of Java 11. Till now Java is an open source tool, so you can use it for free. Now Java 11, from Java 11 it's not free, it's paid. So it doesn't mean like if I am using it and practicing it and learning it I need to pay for it. It just is paid when you are commercializing it, I mean you are creating your application, deploying it and using it in the market. Then you have to pay for it. So basically at the enterprise level, if you are using it, you have to pay for it, and for that they have some plans also, subscription based plan, which is monthly also, yearly also, weekly also. So you can go there in the Oracle and subscribe using those plans and get the license and use it in the commercial product which you are developing or working on or you are using. So basically they have two kind of JDKs, Open JDK and Oracle JDK. So Open JDK is the one which doesn't need license, it is free and can be used for training purposes, learning purposes, and then demo purposes, or something like this. While the Oracle JDK is the one which is paid one, which is licensed, used for enterprise level. So this is a basic Java 11 introduction which we first need to know, and then let's go on to the Java new feature for the developer perspective, which must be known to the developer in daily life. Java 11 have introduced new features. So some of the features which are introduced for performance enhancement, some of them are like some older versions, some older methods, APIs are deprecated, declared as deprecated, while some of the older APIs are also removed and some of them are added new. So right now we will talk about the features which are newly added, and these are purely developer basis, like which can be used in the code, those API, while we are writing the code and all. So these are the seven major changes. One, run Java program, not predicate, file read string, string class method, HTTP client, lambda where type, nest based access control. So today I will try to cover run Java program and not predicate, these two in the video, and we will cover next of them, like these remaining five, in another few videos. So okay, so let's get started with first one, run Java program. Run Java program. So what this feature is, so basically when I write a program in any text pad and toolpad for of Java, first I need to compile it, and then I need to run that class file which is generated, dot class file. So because that was a bytecode, so Java class file is Java file is completed, converted, compiled and converted, interpreted to dot class file, and then when we run it, JVM will read this bytecode file, dot class file, and then interpret it and then run it on the JVM, and then we get some output on the console. So that's how it runs. Now Java has simplified this with in Java 11. So in Java 11 you don't need to compile it. If you are running a class file directly, you can just hit Java and then just type that command and run it and it will execute. So the whole compilation and all other things will happen at the time of run execution also, execution only. It doesn't needs to be done beforehand and then generate bytecode and then execute it. So why this is introduced, because actually what happen when new users come to learn, so a new by come to learn the Java, then he is actually jumbled up, like okay, what is this bytecode, how does this JVM work, how to instantiate the program, what are the extensions of the classes, what is the command to run. I know, although we have IDE where we can just go and right click and run the program, I don't need to worry about this, but still that is a thing which we must know at the time of learning phase. And also IDE has their inbuilt compiler which compiles the program on the backend. So to simplify this, like making it as an interpreted language, likewise we have in the market. So to make it more versatile, Java has introduced this functionality. And for the hands-on, you can see on the screen I have this simple program which just print out, okay, this is the method which is running without compilation. So I will not run it from here, because directly when I run it from here it will compile and then run. IDE will handle this, but I will run it without compilation. So I came to the directory where I have created my program, Java program, and now to run this Java program I will do this just Java. My program name is run, then clicking on tab will give me the file name, because I am in this folder and this is the only file in that folder. So Java run Java program. When I click on it, enter, see, you got the answer. This program is running without compilation. So what happens at the back end? It compiles the program and instantiates the object, class file and all, and then just execute it. So you don't need to worry about, like, you go first compile, then use that dot class file and then run it. So that needs no don't need to be worried about. So does that mean, like, is it just like it just performs simple calculation, like just some SOPs and all? No, it can do many complex things also. So program with for loop, while switch case can also be written and executed in the same way. There's no problem without that. So for example, let's say if I do some calculation like this, okay, in my program I am adding some logic. So this is like, I will take argument with the program and then just pass those numbers, read those argument and add it and print it on the console. So let's see what happens in this case. So this is my, I will pass argument, let's say 1 or 2, so the sum will be 3. Here you can see, like, the first SOP, and then it is performing addition of the parameters, sum is equals to 3. So it actually fetch those parameters and then sum. So basically this is what Java does already. So what I want to show here is, like, it's not like this functionality is being added or just for understanding purpose, because new guys came to the Java and they want to understand. So they will support only few of the functionality. They will this Java run program directly work for all of the complicated program files, Java files. For the next feature, that is not predicate. So it's just a simple functional interface which is added by Java in this Java 11. So this is the predicate interface which actually checks for not. So earlier what happens when we are using this stream and filtering. So if I want to filter, like, okay, I want to get the numbers greater than 5, or I want to find the strings which are null. I filter out the strings which are null, or so basically if I have a straightforward condition, I can just apply greater than equals to, is blank, is empty, like that. But what if I have to go with this false calculation, like, I want to uh, find the numbers which are not equal to 5. So which are not equals to 5 becomes a problem. So why? I mean, it's not a problem. Then we just have to turn around it like that. Right now I am just using, okay, I will just remove this function first. So here, what in this list, I just want to find out the strings which are not empty. So the one which is empty will be filtered out and the one which are not empty will be kept. So here, so that's a simple thing. I know I have the function to check if the string is empty or not. I have this function, string dot I have this function str. I will do string dot is empty. I know I have this function which I can use to find out, okay, if a string is empty or not. But I don't have to filter out like if a string is empty or not. I have to filter out if a string is not empty. So in that case, because either I have to create a new function is not empty, which I cannot do because the string is a defined interface. So what I can do, I need to put here is not, or so these are the two ways. If I have the access to interface, I will just add a new method for the not thing. If I don't have, I need to add a this not. So this is a simple example, but sometimes when we have more complicated object structure, not a custom object, and there we have to filter out with these kind of not thing, then it becomes complicated to write the lambda function and also read it, like what it is doing. I mean, if you go to the code directly and you just understand, okay, this is what it is. So at that time it becomes complicated. So to enhance this readability also, and then make it simpler, we can so that we can directly use method reference here. Stream like Java 11 has introduced this predicate interface. So what this predicate interface does, it has a method not in which I can just pass the method. I have used is blank, not is empty. That is another thing, like a string. Java has introduced some new method in the strings. So we will talk about it later in the another video. And right now, so what does this do? It will just check if the string is empty, and then this predicate dot not will make it like check in the not part of it, like it's not empty, and then filter out and collect it to the list. So we will get a list of strings without blanks. So that's how predicate will work. It's not too complicated, it's very simple. One functional interface. If you go to the its implementation, right click on it, you will see it's a functional interface which has a method test that test the condition which we have passed into. So we have multiple methods already, like and, negate, or only one method is introduced. This is not. This not method is introduced in Java 11. So that's all. That's how it works. There's a simple way to declare it. Else you can do one more thing. Like right now we have just imported predicate, and uh, we can, if we imported it statically, I can just directly use not. I don't need to do it like predicate dot not. I just directly use not because I have statically imported it. So that's all for now. We have covered two of the features which are newly added. Basically, you can see new APIs, which functionalities which are added in Java 11, and we still have a long list of the five, which we will be covering in the next video. I hope you understand and got some knowledge about how Java 11 is, how does it behave, and what is the different terminology, like it is paid and there are long term support or not. So there are multiple questions which will be resolved. So if you like my video, please like, comment, share and subscribe. Then till the next video, bye bye, thank you.